So your magnet exemplars are written, but the question is, are they submission ready? Well, today we're going to be walking through a multi-round editing framework so that you can take your magnet exemplars from draft version to polished perfection in no time. So if you've ever wondered about how to refine your narrative so that they're clear, compelling, and magnet ready, then this video is for you. So let's talk about it. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Excellence in Nursing. My name is Katie Stevens, and I am a nursing consultant, coach, and educator. And over the years, I have reviewed and refined more magnet documents than I can count. And when I first started doing a lot of editing, I quickly realized that trying to edit and tackle all of it at once, all of the content, the grammar, the structure, and then of course, all of the fine details was really just not a good idea. Trying to review everything in one full swoop was overwhelming, it was inefficient, and honestly, it was really a recipe for missing really important edits and details. But over time, and out of necessity, of course, my editing process just naturally evolved. And what I really was looking for was a way to edit consistently and more efficiently each time. So that process really naturally evolved into more of a repeatable system. And so today, I wanted to share this exact framework with you so that you can do the same with your documents and your editing process. If you're passionate about nursing excellence and the magnet journey, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a video packed with practical strategies and insights. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through how to structure your editing process for maximum efficiency. We're going to be talking about key strategies to improve clarity, flow, and consistency. And then finally, we're going to be talking about some of the most important details to really double check before your submission. So my goal by the end of this video is that you will have a simple, foolproof system to really polish your exemplars to perfection so that when it comes time to submit your documents, you can really feel confident that they're truly magnet ready. The full editing process follows 5 structured rounds, with each round really focusing on something different so that you're not really trying to tackle everything at once. So each round guides you to review your documents with really a fresh eye and a new lens, really focusing in and honing in on different details each round. So here's the breakdown. Round 1 is where we're going to take a look at the structure and the content. Round 2 is all about flow and clarity. Round 3 is where we're going to really focus in on grammar and syntax. Round 4, we'll be fact-checking all the details, dates, names, and locations, etc. And then round 5 is the final data validation and evidence review. By taking it step by step, you'll be able to avoid overwhelm, you'll be able to catch more mistakes, and you'll be able to refine your exemplars in a way that's really both systematic and effective. Now, I know that 5 rounds might sound tedious. It might even seem like a lot at first, but here's the thing. Once you get used to this process, it will really start to become a lot more fluid and you'll move really quickly through it. Again, each round really has a specific focus. So instead of spending hours really trying to fix every single detail at once, you'll really start to streamline your editing process and you will really start to move forward more efficiently. All right, let's dig in. So again, round 1 is all about the structural and content review. So right now we're going to forget about grammar. This is really the big picture review. This first pass is all about making sure that your exemplar is really tightly aligned with the magnet criteria and expectations. Because here's the thing, if your exemplar fundamentally has an issue related to magnet criteria, or if the structure isn't solid, there's really no point in moving forward. There's no point in refining the flow, fixing the grammar, or tweaking your word choice if the foundation isn't solid. So for EO exemplars, that means ensuring that you have a strong outcome measure and that the narrative also demonstrates a strong outcome measure. And that as well, you are following Magnet's expected framework and formatting for EO exemplars. Now for non-EO exemplars, it's all about making sure that all of the required SOE key elements are present with, of course, your well-supported evidence, and that the exemplar also fits within Magnet's submission guidelines. Now, we're not going to be covering every single detail of these requirements today. If you want a detailed breakdown of exactly what to look for, including key formatting tips and criteria, of course, first off, always check your Magnet manual. This is your source of truth. We also have a full blog post that walks you through everything step by step with even more detail, as well as we have 2 other videos, one on EOs and one on non-EOs. And all of these go into really great detail on the specifics of each one of these exemplar types. So you'll find all of that linked in the description below. So the goal of round one is simple. Make sure that the structure and the content are solid before moving on. And again, if the foundation isn't right, your exemplar will just fall apart later. So really get this locked in first. Now that the structure and content is solid, it's really time to focus in on how the story is told. So round two is all about flow and clarity. So this is really where we refine the storytelling to make sure that your narrative is smooth, it's clear, and it's easy to follow. And if you're wondering why we haven't tackled grammar yet, it's because if the flow isn't right, the details really don't matter. There's really no point in perfecting sentences that really need to be rewritten anyway. I remember when I first started editing magnet documents, I spent hours wordsmithing and tweaking sentences only to realize later that entire sections needed to be rewritten. So, of course, this was frustrating and honestly just a waste of time. So that's why working through this process in the right order really makes a lot of difference. It'll definitely save you time, it'll prevent unnecessary edits, and it really helps you focus in on what truly matters in order of priority. So with that, in this round, make sure that your narrative has a logical flow. Does the story progress naturally? Make sure that it really follows a clear path and that there are no sudden jumps and no sudden detours. Make sure the narrative is written in chronological order as much as possible. Really keep the events in the order that they happened if possible. So a solid timeline really ensures that the story unfolds logically and it really helps prevent confusion. Also, get straight to the point. Remove as much jargon as possible, overly complex language, and try to provide just enough detail to meet magnet criteria. So try to, in this step, remove as much fluff as possible. Always write with your audience in mind, and in this case, it is the appraisers. So they should really immediately be able to see how your story aligns with the SOE criteria without having to really dig for the connection. Taking time to refine these elements up front really makes a huge difference in readability and impact. And then getting these elements right before worrying about grammar also makes sure that every single edit serves the bigger picture. And if you need a deeper dive on any of these areas, again, don't forget that you'll find even more guidance in our full blog post linked in the description. All right, now it's time for round three, which is grammar and syntax. This is where we're going to clean up all of the language and really make sure that everything sounds polished and professional. By this stage, your structure and your flow should be solid. So now we're going to focus on refining the details to ensure clarity and consistency. So with that, make sure that you check your acronyms. Always spell out the acronyms the first time you use them. Also, make sure that you're using active voice. So strong writing is active writing. It's clearer, it's more direct, and it's definitely more engaging. Use third-person perspective. So avoid using terms like we or our. Really try to stick to more objective language to maintain more of a professional tone. Also right here, you're going to fix all of your grammar. So you're going to fix typos, awkward phrasing, and anything that disrupts readability. So every single sentence should really be clear and easy to follow. Make sure that your tone, tense, and your style all stay the same throughout the document. So try to avoid sudden shifts between past and present tense. It should really feel cohesive from start to finish. Now, right here, I wanted to take a moment to talk about AI editing tools because this space is evolving quickly. And I'm really excited to see how these tools might be able to support us in our work. Now, AI tools are great helpers. And that said, my personal opinion is that we really do need to strike a balance. So using these tools with wisdom and also exercising discernment. Tools like Grammarly and ChatGPT, etc., can be really helpful at catching typos or refining sentence structure. However, they won't be able to check for SOE alignment, data accuracy, or even magnet-specific terminology. So AI can be really fantastic at what I would call a first pass, but it's definitely not a replacement for a careful expert review. I like to think of this process like delegating in professional nursing. You know, as professional nurses, we can delegate tasks to licensed technicians. But at the end of the day, as professional nurses, we are still ultimately accountable and responsible for the patient's care. So it's the same thing with AI or any other tools that we use for writing our data efforts. You know, we can delegate some of these actions and leverage these tools for support, and they can be great. But ultimately, we are responsible for ensuring the accuracy, the alignment, and the quality of the final result. So just keep that in mind and move forward accordingly. Personally, I like to use AI tools as a starting point for editing. I use it for that initial pass to really scan and catch any obvious mistakes or structural issues. Then that's when I like to go in with a more, scrutinous eye to really fine tune the grammar and then really make sure that everything aligns with magnet criteria and expectations. Now, before we move on to round 4, I'd love to hear from you. What is your biggest challenge when it comes to editing magnet narratives? Or if you've been through this process quite a bit before in the past, what is a secret that you've discovered over the years that really makes editing easier? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. All right, now let's move on to round 4, which is fact-checking every detail. So at this stage, you're going to make sure that every single detail is correct. This round is really critical because even small errors in dates, names, or locations can really raise red flags during your magnet review. So with that, what you're going to do in this round is double check every single date for accuracy and consistency throughout the document. It is incredibly easy to transpose numbers, and even small mistakes can really create some confusion. So you're going to also make sure that all of your dates align with the 48-month submission window and that they really match across your entire narrative, as well as all of your supporting evidence and documents. Also, you're going to confirm names and credentials and make sure that every individual's name is spelled correctly and that the credentials are listed properly. And then the last thing you're going to do is verify locations and unit names. Make sure that all of the unit names are really accurate and that they are written in a way and referred to in a manner that is consistent throughout all of your documentation. So this round might seem tedious, but trust me, it's one of the most important. And again, there are a few more details listed in our blog. And as always, make sure that you keep your magnet manual within arm's reach at all times during this process. All right, we've made it to round 5, which is the final data validation and evidence review. This last round is all about making sure that your submission is bulletproof. So by this stage, you've refined your structure. You've tightened up the flow, you've polished the writing, and you've fact-checked every detail. So now it's time for really that final pass to make sure that everything is accurate and compliant before submission. So with that, in this round, make sure that you double check all of your data in your EO exemplars. This data should really show a clear positive trend and align with the narrative. You're going to look for gaps or inconsistencies in time periods. These are really red flags that can slow down the review process. You're going to also review all of your evidence for your non-EO exemplars. Remember, magnet limits supporting evidence to 5 pieces per SOE. So make sure what you include is really acceptable per ANCC magnet guidelines and that it's highly relevant and that it really directly supports your story. The last thing that you're going to do is ensure PHI compliance. So one last critical check is to make sure that there is no protected health information that appears anywhere in your submission. So patient names, medical records, or any other kind of identifying detail must be removed. So this is really a non-negotiable compliance step. So taking time for this final review really ensures that your exemplars are not only strong, but they're truly submission ready. So you don't want a last-minute documentation request delaying your timeline. And that's a wrap for today. You now have a multi-round editing process that makes refining your magnet narratives easier, more efficient, and way less stressful. And remember that editing is like a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger and the faster that you're going to get. So keep refining, keep improving, and soon this process will feel like second nature. If you found this video helpful, make sure that you give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more insights on magnet recognition and nursing excellence. If you're looking for more examples, head on over to our blog where we break down even more strategies, including today's topic in greater detail. Also, don't forget to grab some of our free resources. You can download our MPD handbook and our 7-stage magnet designation project guide. Both of them are packed with actionable strategies to help you gain clarity and confidence in all of your magnet work. And if you're feeling stuck or you need some personalized support on your magnet journey, whether you need just a quick strategy session to help you tackle a specific challenge, or maybe you need a deeper partnership for some of the project management and documentation, our on-demand consulting services are really designed to be flexible, tailored, and effective. So we will definitely work with you to meet your specific goals. So whether it is coaching, consulting, or maybe a combination of both, we will customize something to really fit your unique goals and needs. So all the details will be linked in the description below. And as always, please remember that on the journey to excellence, you are the one that makes all of the difference. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.